Positive energy and good vibrations from me to you. You have now tuned in to the Imperfect Fathers Podcast. Good people, good people, good people. Positive energy and good vibrations from me to you. This is RJD, the Imperfect Gentleman, and this is the Imperfect Fathers Podcast. Yo, fellas, say what up, man.
Here, what up?
Yo, something is wrong with that guy. Yo, shout out to all the imperfect fathers out there, man. It's your man TR Tribble, aka Tribble Trail. We just in here getting it, back for another episode. I've been gone for a couple of weeks, so I'm glad to be back, man. Out here being an entrepreneur, man. So
hey, that's what it's all about. As long as you get into it, you ain't sitting on your ass. You dig? That's what it's all about.
Yo,
Swizzle, man, say hello to the people correctly.
Hello to the people correctly. I wish I had some really great things to say, but I don't. Okay? It's Mahogany. I'm following directions, okay? New leaf turned over, okay?
Yeah,
that's what I gotta say about that.
Yo, something is wrong with this guy, man.
We starting off early, man. Listen, let's get to business, man. Listen, we got some real awesome news coming around here this week, man. So before we get any further into this podcast episode, let's do what we know we're supposed to do. Let's talk to our father and pay these bills, man. So let's talk to the pops. Dear God, we thank you for another week, man. We're grateful. We're truly honored to be here on this platform one more time. We know we don't take it lightly that we are here again, because we know that there's someone that did not make it to this week. God, we're grateful. We want to say thank you, because we know that you are the source of our strength and you are the source of our help. So right now, God, we say thank you for all you've done, and we're grateful. Right now, also, God, we ask you to look over us as we go through the airwaves. Help us right now. Touch us that we may help somebody else and empower and encourage these men where they may be at right now, so they may be the best versions of themselves, and not just themselves, but their family and their community. And these things we do pray in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Yo, Doc, give me a few minutes. I know we just getting ready to get into the episode, but my daughter-in-law just got here, so I'm going to pack up shop, head to the whip, and I'll be back in a minute.
Nah, do what you gotta do. Imperfect fathers. This is, how we do it.
Well, I'm old, so I'm the imperfect grandfather. I'll be back.
All right, Grandpa. See you in a minute. Yo, man, listen, that guy Troy is something else. We love him. So dig this, man. We about to pay the bills around here, but this week is about to be awesome. We have a new paid sponsor, guys. This platform is growing at a rapid rate. So before we get to that, let's get down to the usual paid suspects. Those guys over at Now and Never Entertainment. Listen, for all your beat needs, whether it be hip hop, R&B, gospel, Christian, country, you name it, any music genre, he can help you. KB over at Now and Never Entertainment is a phenomenal producer. He produces phenomenal tracks that can be used in movies, podcasts, content on Instagram, reels, you name it. He produces music that can help you push your project forward. So if you want to shop smart, you want to shop black, and you also want to be a contributor to an awesome platform, go over and hit that guy at Now and Never Entertainment and tell him the guys over at the Imperfect Fathers Podcast sent you. And if you use the word imperfect, when you shop over there at that marvelous store, you'll get 50% off on any beat in the beat store. So try out. I'm telling you, it's dope. 50% off, you can't go wrong. And plus, it's a black-owned business. So it's like I said before, shop black, shop smart, shop Now and Never, and tell them we sent you. Now, for the other paid sponsor of this beautiful podcast that you guys see, that I'm wearing some of the beautiful merchandise from, Cassie's Classic Designs. Now, listen, guys, it's T-shirts, cups, signs, drawers. I'm not going to show you my drawers. Socks, and you name it, she can print on it. So if you need anything, let's say you're a school, you want to make some shirts for a school. Let's say you have an occasion and you want to make a few shirts, holla at her. She has phenomenal prices for phenomenal quality clothes. So if you want to get at her on Instagram, you do that at Cassie's_classic_design. But if you're not really Instagram savvy and you want to get at her directly, she can do that too at Cassie'sClassicDesign@gmail.com. So get at her and let her know, put her to work, man. Tell her RJD sent you at the Imperfect Fathers. And guess what, guys? Now, last but definitely not least, and we actually saved the best for last on this one, we have another paid sponsor this week on the podcast. And let me tell you, this sponsor right here, I love it. Like, it's called Canny Cocktails. Listen, guys, this guy right here next to me, he said, like he don't know his project is fire. His product is fire. But listen, when I tell you right now, the truth of the matter is a lot of us don't realize that we deal with anxiety on a very high level because we don't realize we try to live in the future. See, I've learned that when you live in the past, you live in regret. If you live in the future, you live with anxiety. But if you live present, you can move smoothly and you can live whole. Now, guess what? Swiss Mahogany has a product called Canny Cocktails that if you are suffering with any kind of anxiety, any kind of thing that you feel anxious about, trust me when I tell you, Canny Cocktails can help you. Also, if you don't have anxiety and you're just looking to get it on, you're looking for a little beverage to help you get that thing cracking. You hear what I'm saying, fellas? Trust me when I tell you, this juice is the juice. Is to do it to her juice. And if you give her some, she'll do it to you too. So trust me when I tell you that Canny Cocktail is the way to go. So if you do want to experience life on another level and experience some extreme pleasure while being mellow and enjoying life, Canny Cocktail is your product. So holla at Swiss Mahogany over at the Canny Cocktail Project. Yo, Swiss, you got anything you want to say about that before we get up on the next topic?
Man, I appreciate you. I appreciate you, man. And I just want to let the people know, just when you're talking about anxiety, we go from anxiety to recreation. And really, it's the letters of your choice. It could be CBD or the other three. And it's just as easy as ABC, really. If you feel me and you follow me, then we can talk about it. But really, what we do, we've become number one in infusing gourmet delicacies. So we go from drinks to, drinks to snacks. We've actually just got into ice cream, frozen treats. We tried the popsicles last summer. It was a really great hit. So we went a little bit further. Now we've gotten to, popsicles, ice creams and things like that. And basically, what it is that we really just want to see what the need is, what the desire is of our customers, whether they're looking for something delicious for a recreational purpose for just them and their partner, if they're trying to cater an event, or if they're trying to treat something, if they have a case of PTSD maybe, or chronic pain, or anxiety and stuff. And with those things, we'll treat the CBDs with, unless they have a preference for something different, then we'll go another route. But the endless possibilities are really, really fun to be a part of, and it just really it makes me feel happy to be able to kind of have a different kind of conversation with people and not look at it just as a business, but an opportunity to kind of help somebody meet a need and be a part of that. So yeah, Canny Cocktails is the way to go. There's a lot of different things coming, some more visuals. The website is actually under reconstruction right now, but it will be back up shortly. You can see everything. But for now, you can come directly with your questions. I'm Swiss Mahogany on all platforms. So feel free, no hesitation. Appreciate
Listen, guys, trust me when I tell y'all do not want to miss out. It's a phenomenal product. I'm not just a friend, but I'm also a client. You know what I mean? So trust me when I tell you, it's definitely worth the everything. Hold on a second.
Why are you screaming? We know what you said. Yo, but you know what's ill though? The fact that you said client and not no, I just read your lips. I can't hear you at all. But the fact that you said client before you went on mute, instead of customer, is a really big thing, because I'm big on the difference between knowing the difference of the two. And customers are great, but we provide a service overall. We're giving you products in addition to the service that we're trying to provide for you. So, it's definitely a client-based service.
I'm glad. Listen, man, listen, your product and your service better than anybody else. You dig what I'm saying? And I'm glad that you understand and and you have a target. You dig what I'm saying? Because we know when you aim for everybody, you hit nobody. You dig what I'm saying? So understanding who you going after and what you're going after is key in business. So trust me when I tell you, bro. I told you offline, but I'm gonna tell you online. You got a hell of a product, and if you keep it up, bro, sky's the limits.
Appreciate you, man. Appreciate
No
that.
question. So it's crazy because I would know at this point in the conversation, I would normally tell Troy to do his job, but this is the second and third week that I'm having to do Troy's job. I'm gonna have to actually call Lisa, get in on this, and have her tune in and tap in, put her on the payroll because Troy is slacking. Shout out to Lisa, man. I know she's probably watching. At some point, she'll check this out. And if you are listening to us, man, wherever you are, and you catch this on a replay, hashtag replay, and let us know where you checking us out from. It helps the algorithm. It helps us let us know where we're reaching our peoples at. You know what I'm saying? If you're a father, you're imperfect father, reach out to us, man. We'd love to hear from you. And then also, if you want to join us on the platform, get at us at imperfectfatherspodcast@gmail.com. Let us know what you got going on, and we'd love to bring you on the platform and have open discussion with you guys. This is what this platform is about. It's an inclusive platform for the fathers as well as the mothers out there. Don't think that we talk and we definitely get at the fathers, but you mothers out there as well. Don't think that this is not a platform or space for you, because without you, we can't be fathers. So we want you to understand that we coming to this platform with an open mind and open spirit to everyone to actually have a say so or have a few words on this platform as well. So tonight's topic, man, we were supposed to be talking about what was it? When is it time to let go, right? And for me, that's kind of a triggering topic because for me, letting go certain things in my life is extremely difficult, but others extremely easy. I'm easy to let go of people, places, and things that have hurt me, right? But I'm not so easy to let go of things that hinder me. See, I'm like, if you hurt me in the past or if you caused me any harm, I have no problem with cutting you off. I actually think that's sometimes to my detriment. I don't have a spirit to give somebody a second chance when they've hurt me in a certain way. But when it comes down to things that are hindering me from moving forward, I have a hard time letting those things go. Like certain mindsets before, like the last few months, I had a real bad thing with comparing myself to other coaches and other people that are in my network, in my niche. And it was killing me on the inside. Like it was affecting me to where I couldn't even show up in my coaching, my clients the way I should, because I was still trying to be like someone else. And for me, it was really the spirit of comparison I had to let go. And it was hard, because even to this day, at certain times I find myself comparing myself subconsciously, not even consciously so much, but subconsciously trying to compete on a level with somebody else who's been doing what I'm doing now for the last 15 to 20 years. And it's not something that I'm doing on the exterior, but it's more so what I'm doing to myself on the inside and in my mind. So I feel like for me, the time for me to letting go, when it's time for me to let this thing go, has been right now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like me letting go of me comparing myself to who other people are, especially as of late, have given me a completely new outlook on life and a brand new freedom. So with that being said, I want to know, Swiss, for you, bro, like when and what has been the hardest things for you to let go as a man, as a father?
As a man, the hardest thing to let go was that everybody's not going to agree with your opinion just because it's logical and it makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Just because you did the calculations doesn't mean everybody's going to agree. And when people don't agree, you've got to realize that is an outcome of having an opinion in a conversation. And that does not mean you should feel disgruntled. You know what I'm saying? That you should feel some sort of way. You should be able to have a conversation with people from different point of view and different feelings, and still be able to walk away, you know what I'm saying, without, your blood pressure rising any, you know what I'm saying, without you feeling any way or thinking any, thoughts, that really were unnecessary. That's a really major thing that I had to learn also I learned that less is more in so many aspects. So it's not so much how much you do or how you do it. It's what you're actually doing and getting done, like completed. You know what I'm saying? Those are a couple things that I've learned. 2 things.
Yo, so it's crazy because like the things that and I see Troy just pulled up. So as a matter of fact, let's go to Troy right quick. Can you hear us, T? You good?
Yep, I just need you to control the mute, man. I'm driving. What we got?
I got you. All right, so we're at the point now where we're talking about when was the time? What are some of the things you had to let go as a father and as a husband? As a man, father, and husband, what are some of the things that you had to let go to become the man you are now and the man that you are trying to become?
Man. Woo.
Heavy tonight, boys. Heavy, ain't it?
Woo. Hold on, let me stop and put on my hazards right quick. I can't even like I'm just gonna stop in this. I'm just gonna stop in the neighborhood where I'm at. I'm sitting on the hill and everything. Man. First, let me just say I had to learn to stop being selfish. Because by nature, while I'm not an only child, I was pretty much raised as an only child for the most part. I mean, my grandmother raised me. I had my cousins kind of in and out the house. A few siblings kind of in and out the house. My mother's my younger brothers. But for the most part, I was raised as an only child. And my grandmother gave me everything within reason that I worked for, and I worked hard for everything. So I had to learn to stop being selfish. That was one. I had to let it go. Because even today, now that my kids are older, I'm selfish. Because I'm selfish with my time. I'm just selfish about certain shit. The other thing I really kind of had to let go as a husband is I had to let them streets go. And by the streets, I mean, I wasn't no dope boy and no shit like that, but I'd be out. So before I met Lisa, I was out 5, 6, 7, 8 nights a week. When I got married, one of the things I said to her was like, listen, I gotta let you know I'm gonna be out a couple of nights a week because I like to socialize. So I'm in the cigar lounges, whatever. The other thing I had to let go was I had to let go of that old Troy. Because he was savage out here in these streets. And that was separate from just being in the streets. That was separate from just being out every night of the week, hanging out with my boys, whatever. I had to let go of Troy. TR is new. TR is a new person.
Right.
TR is like the last 5 or 6 years. Troy was wild for the night out here. Yeah. Right. And the other part of it was just as a father and as a husband, and then coming into, contact with people, I really had to let go of some of my my distrust for women.
Wow, Troy.
I'm gonna go ahead and put it all the way out there. I had to let that go because of some of the things that I had been through. I really had to learn in order for me to have a better relationship with my wife, in order for me to have a better relationship with my daughters, in order for me to encourage men and women to have better relationships, I had to let go of my distrust for women. Because based on the shit that happened to me growing up, right?
Right.
Based on the things that I experienced in life. And I'm gonna tell you, once I really learned to do that, it allowed me to grow a lot more. It allowed my personal intimacy. It allowed my intimacy, between me and my wife to grow.
How did you
And that's it, man. Huh?
How did you accomplish that?
Now y'all know what I'm gonna say. Y'all know I got a therapist, right? Y'all cats know. Listen, shout out to Orville Jackson, OJ. He is with Dr. White therapy group here in Atlanta. Through therapy, man, and I started with Dr. Adrienne White. Shout out to Dr. Adrienne White. She was a phenomenal therapist. And she got me to a point and said, I can't take you based on things that I was going through. Mm-hmm. She said, listen, I cannot take you to this next level. I cannot get you where you need to be. I got to put you in the care of this Black man who understands exactly what it is that you need.
So, Troy, my next question is like a two-parter, right?
Mm-hmm.
First part starts with a little history that we have. I'm gonna need you to either not tell me what to say, or just know if you give me something to say, I'm gonna have a little discretion with it this time, because we're gonna go ahead and see about this referral for this therapist. You remember what last time you gave me a referral?
Yo. Okay. So,
so for me and the rest of our beautiful fans out there, I think this podcast just took a turn, and we're about to find out.
No, we're gonna keep it on the straight and narrow.
So listen, let me just tell y'all. So let me just say something. I gave Swiss a referral to my therapist, my old therapist, Dr. White. Like I just got to tell the story because it's really kind of funny now.
No, it wasn't. It was lawyer.
Oh, that's what it was. So I gave Swiss a referral to my lawyer, my divorce lawyer, and I joked with this dude and was like, "Yo, tell her to." I think I said something like, "Yo, tell her to give you the knock it down rate or something like that." Like I joked with him, like I made it seem like, "Yo, I knocked it down," right? This nigga Swiss don't use no discretion. That's probably why she back billing me right now, you fucking dirtbag. Swiss, come on, bro.
Yo, Swiss, did you go over to the lady and be like, yo, can I get the knock it down discount?
I gave Troy the disclaimer first. I said, Troy, we just met. You don't know me. I don't know you. So I'm one of them niggas that like, you don't know.
You gotta tell him. You gotta give him direct.
You might have to tell Swiss because Swiss gonna go left. And I didn't know. I didn't know you, Troy. I didn't know you. I said, is this nigga for real?
Swiss, that was like 3 weeks ago, bro.
No, that wasn't. 3 weeks ago, that was fresh. We first had our mask, like.
Yeah, you know what? It's funny because I've spoken to her since then. So I need to send something to the office and apologize.
Yo, that is hilarious, yo. So Swiss went and said, "Can I get the knockdown discount?"
No, that's not what it. That's not. See. Now this is why you can't bring stuff, because every time a paraphrase comes, the paraphrase don't never be right. The paraphrase always be the worst. No, that's not how it happened. But just know I have Kuth now. Okay, I'm living my life with Kuth. Okay.
So that was one of the things that Swiss needed to let go, being uncouth. Like next time I see Swiss, I gotta be like the British and slap him with a white glove.
Take it off each finger too. Like, hold on, motherfucker, I'm gonna slap the shit out of you.
Cool. Okay.
Yo, listen, man.
What was the second thing, man? What was the second thing?
That was it. It was the 2-parter. Like I just had the disclaimer up front. So the second part was, yo,
now he's frozen.
Now he's frozen.
I'm with it.
Hey, Harris, what's good? Hello. What's going on? We cool
Doc,
up here.
Doc, put me on mute, man. I'm moving.
All right, go ahead. I got you. So now, man. So now I'm sitting here. Now you guys kind of like size up my brain, but like now I'm thinking back to letting go. Like, bro, like I had to let go a whole youthful mindset, right? Of not focusing on my present or my future. Like I was so caught in just what I did, right? Like I found myself living in being one of those guys that constantly talked about what I did when I was in high school or my years after high school. And I was like, yo, but what does that earn me? What has that done for me? So I realized I had to let go of mindset. And for me letting go of that mindset it was like paramount, man, because once I let go of the thought process of what I thought I was then able to see myself for who I really was. You understand what I'm saying? Like once I let go of that false image of what I thought I was supposed to look like, my eyes was then clear for me to see how awesome and dope I truly was. And I truly am. Like I was so caught up in just trying not to be myself because I didn't think I was worth it. I didn't think I was worthy enough to be myself and be accepted. Right. And that's all we really want as individuals, to be accepted. You know what I'm saying? Like as men, we don't want to say it, but a lot of times we just want to be accepted in the groups, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And Doc, I think that's where it's so critical that we have the right people in our circle that, you know, we are. I feel like my audio is terrible, so I'm gonna come back when I'm in a better spot, man.
Now you're doing good.
Okay, because I feel like I'm getting some feedback on this side.
Nah, you're doing good.
So let me just say this. Like when and KB says this all the time, you gotta leave room to give yourself grace, brother. You gotta leave room to give yourself grace. But a lot of times, because we want to be men, and there's such a push around us to be, you know, this man that you're like, yo, here's who I am, here's what I used to do. I was back in the day, I was knocking niggas out, I was slinging dope, I was pitching pieces, birds was jumping out the kitchen.
Yo, he breaking up, but
40 and you got a regular 9 to 5 and you file the taxes.
Nah, he was breaking up at the end. We couldn't hear what he was saying, but it was getting good. Towards the end he broken up. But Swiss, I seen you came over there. What you had to say about that?
I'm just listening, and in a direction that sounded like he was going. It sounded right. Well, he, you know, Troy be sounding, you know, he crazy, but he ain't no knucklehead like that. He's talking wild shit. But I was just thinking, like, you know, some people gotta realize where you at and stuff too. Because I remember there was a day when you didn't make more money than your dealer when you had a regular job. Like,
right.
Your plug was a real plug. You know what I'm saying? Now you got all of these little people just doing this and doing that, and then, you know, but we're in an age right now where you can own your own business and make so much money. You know what I'm saying? Like legally, and just ways that we never really tapped into before. And it's just like, oh wow, you know. And some people don't realize where things are at. You know what I'm saying? And then
bro,
people,
you bring that money up, which is a very, very important part of it. Like a lot of times, I was literally so stuck in the mindset of making money in the street, and I had to let go of that mindset because I realized the money in the street is instant gratification. You dig what I'm saying? Like You give somebody something, they hand you some money in your hands, right? We already know. Like let's talk weed for example. Like you hand somebody a bag of weed, they hand you some money. That's an instant gratification, right? But
that's it's doing. You don't get nothing else out of that.
Absolutely. Once that transaction is over, like you said, that's it. And there's no gratification through that. But now what I've learned is that once I've changed my mindset about how I pursue money, how I pursue an income, it changes everything because how I looked at money before is totally different how I look at it now. And like I'm looking for, instead of the income, I'm looking to make an impact. You dig what I'm saying? And the reason I'm doing things is because I let go of a mindset. I let go of a whole process of thought or even a belief system. My belief system before was I had to operate out of a state of lack. And I didn't realize that I was operating out of a state of lack and a constant state of questioning myself and my abilities. So before I knew it, like I couldn't break through any barriers. I couldn't move forward any further because the only thing I was doing was dwelling in a mindset that only kept me where I was at. But I had to let that go. But the only way I let that go was literally by doing the work, getting around people that can show me things. And somebody told me a little while ago is that the quality of your life is only based upon the quality of questions that you ask yourself or someone else asks you. So if you're not asking yourself these tough questions and you're not asking yourself these really hard questions, or somebody else is not asking you these questions and not putting you in perspective to think, you're doing yourself a great injustice. Yo, TIC, you came off the mute. What you got?
Nah, I mean, I just, and I know my audio got crazy at the end. But yo, you just said something that was so profound that, yo, you were working in lack.
Yeah.
You were working from lack. So now we look at money different. Listen, and I'm gonna keep it all the way. I'm gonna keep it all the way 100. Listen, shout out to the niggas that's out here getting it, right?
Right.
I'm gonna keep it all. Listen, they keep the economy going too. So shout out to the niggas that's out here getting it. But at the end of the day, we gotta recognize that ain't for everybody. Everybody can't go out here and get it.
Right.
Right. So listen, I was one of them cats, and Doc, you already know what we come from. That wasn't my life, bro.
Right.
Couldn't go out there and get it that way. So I got a 9 to 5. And I make a wonderful living that way. PTO, vacation, 401k, sick days, personal days.
All that you don't get in the street. You don't get none of that shit in the street.
Nigga, if I stub my toe at work and that shit turn purple, I pull out my little insurance card. I take my ass down to the urgent care, and I be like, my toe is purple. I want you to run every single test.
Every toe test you got, I want it.
Every toe test you got, I want it. But you're right. It's about a different mindset. It's about letting go of who we used to be and embracing who we are today.
Facts. And you know what's so crazy, Troy? I was just talking to my man about this other day. I just literally, right, and I took a picture of this. I'm probably gonna post it tomorrow. I took a picture of my groceries in my trunk, right? Why I take a picture of my groceries in my trunk is because it was a wake-up call for me. It was a wake-up call realizing that my perspective of how I look at my life is completely different. Where I used to take that same money, right, and go blow it in a club or on an outfit, you know what I'm saying? Something to look good in, something to put on my body, something that had no value to it, right? I was excited about doing that. I wanted to take pictures. I couldn't wait to go where I was going in that and whatever I was wearing, or to spend the money I was planning on spending where I was going, right? But now my perspective is that same money that I was spending to go give myself instant gratification. Now I use that money and I feed my family. You understand what I'm saying? Like the picture of me of seeing all those groceries weighing down the back of my truck, I take pride in that now, because at the end of the day, it was a time in my life where I couldn't do that. You dig what I'm saying? I couldn't provide for my family on this kind of level. And why I couldn't? Because my mindset wasn't right. Because I was still caught up in trying to keep up with the Joneses. I was still caught up in trying to make sure I look good for a perception. But the truth of the matter is, I look good. I look damn good. I look even better when my kids are fed, right? I look even better when my bills are taken care of. When my wife is no longer stressed about money. I look even more sexy than when I'm taking care of everything a man's supposed to take care of. But that's what that for me was. It's like, yo, you know what? I'm no longer worried about how many bottles I could buy in the night. But now the bottles I'm trying to buy is the bottles of milk that my son wants to drink, right? The bottles I'm buying now is the bottles of apple juice that my daughter loves. Those are the bottles I'm purchasing now because my mindset is different now. I'm no longer looking at how drunk can I get. Now I'm looking at how healthy can I get my children. Swiss, what you got? I see you over there tickling up, ready to say something that's going to be a clip for this week's Instagram. So what are you over there holding in right now?
Dope. I'm just listening. I'm just thinking like, man, this is so, I guess interesting is the word maybe, or whatever. Because I'm just thinking like at that time when you was buying bottles, you know what I'm saying, or doing all that shit, I'm thinking, what was I doing? I'm like, I was probably in the crib, hustling, waiting on my phone, starting some business ideas upstairs in my little room, creating my little fake office, whatever, or like playing fake dad to whoever my sister let stay in the house. She always had some friends stay in the house who had some kids. And I was just always, you know what I'm saying, like with the kid, you know what I mean? Like it was just I was always in the crib, like, you know what I'm saying? But like I was in the crib domestically doing other shit. You see what I'm saying? Like still like with the shits. You see what I'm saying? So, but I never did the other stuff that most of the guys was really doing, like going out. Let me see how many bottles I can get, how many chicks I can get. My mindset was terrible. When I went out, I felt so defeated. I didn't realize the amount of money that I had in my pocket. I could do those things. I just, my mind was so like, as soon as I went out, I felt like I had to go, buy an outfit. And then I got my outfit and I'm in my outfit like, damn, this wasn't it. Even like, yo, your shit popping. Like, it was a mindset thing, right?
Right.
And I'm listening. I'm like, because now there have been times where I've not bought an outfit, but I went out and bought and just knew like they're gonna think I'm fly because I got this fresh T-shirt on, but I only spent $7 on this from the gas station. Like, I wish I would have knew this back in the day when tees was really a thing. I could have been booming, So and then I'm like, well, my kids, I got a gang of them, right? So I go shopping. I got to buy everything by the threes, like I just dropped a few $100, you know what I'm saying, on a very small number of outfits.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, you know what I'm saying? But then I'm like, while I feel good about that, the reality is you still got to recoup some of this money, my dude. You know what I'm saying? So like, I'm about to still recoup this money. You feel me? But I'm like, my mindset has changed. I see how it's changed and it's grown. You know what I'm saying? Because it looks at things differently, even though things could look the same.
Right.
Or like they're still some of the same because there ain't nothing new under the sun. You know what I'm saying? Like to say. But as I'm listening and I'm looking, I'm like, wow, this is crazy. Like as you say, it's a mindset and it's a perspective thing because even in our different walks, we're still walking in the same direction.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, whoa, this is it's mind blowing. Like when you learn and you just learn and whenever it is. And whatever it is that it is what it is, So it's so crazy.
Wait till we run that clip back. What you just said just now.
I said I wasn't gonna say nothing to be used. He wasn't gonna use it. There we go.
Yeah, I love these clips, man. Like I be seeing with the editor, I be laughing because I'm like, yeah, I want that one. Yo, but so check this out, man. So when I look now in my end, what I hold value to, right? And this is what I'm gonna say to the women out there. And you date someone because of their potential. Hear me good. You date somebody. It's dates. I didn't say have sex with them. I said you date them. You date someone based upon their potential. But you get into a relationship with somebody and you marry someone based upon their value that they can bring to your life and increase the value to y'all life together as a unit. because what we don't realize is that when we don't, I've had a brain fart just now. When we don't, we had a complete brain fart just now.
Now you better use this. You better use this part right here, because I could edit this in a million different ways, at least 6 different ways right now. Right now.
Yeah, I'm glad you ain't got that power right now. I'm glad I'm the one
Right.
sending this to the editor. I'm gonna keep that email a secret too. I ain't let you hear that email.
Right.
But what I was saying now, I got lost. What I was saying?
I don't know that. I ain't gonna hold you. I ain't gonna know.
Yo, Troy, you there? What I was saying? Don't smoke weed, y'all. That's what happened. Y'all smoke weed.
Yo, Doc, I can't. I'm like Swiss. I can't hold you. My audio was so terrible, and I was just trying to stay on mute so I didn't make the audio worse than what it was. But I just pulled over at the little Brewster's right quick. I think I might get some ice cream while I'm here too. That's gonna make my stomach hurt. If my wife is watching, she's probably gonna be like, "I wish he would let go of lactose. His stinking ass." I wish that nigga would really let go. He can keep drugs. Let go of that
Keep
goddamn
the drugs.
milk.
Let go of the ice cream, nigga. Let go of the milk and the cheese. Yo, so that's what it was. That's what it was. So basically, it was about letting go. So when I had to do was let go of my lack, right? The mindset of coming from a place of lack. Now that's what I was talking about. So back to my whole thing in my family, my groceries. So when I seen the groceries in the backseat of my car, and I seen the weight of how it's actually weighing down the car, I felt so good because I realized at that point that I'm now walking and doing the things and holding value. That's what I was talking about. Holding the value of a man that I seen in my heart and in my head, because I was placing so much other value on things that didn't suffice my family. You understand what I'm saying? Like I was placing things that only suffice me. And this is where the part where Troy's talking about being selfish. And as men, I did not realize that when you become a man and you take on a responsibility of a family and being married and a family and all those things, you now have to put your own life on the back burner to a certain extent, because whatever happens to the people that are in your care is your responsibility. So when I seen the groceries in my trunk, I had to take a picture of it and say, you know what? I'm now in a place where I can be a provider. I can, because my mindset is now as a provider's mindset should be. Like I'm looking to provide, right? I'm looking to be a moral support. I'm looking to do these things for my family, not just for myself. So I had to really let go of how I looked at myself and where I was looking at myself from. Because ever since I've picked up and I've talked to my therapist and also meeting my homeboy Dewan and finding out that I'm limitless, I'm abundant, and I'm worthy, like you can't tell me nothing. Because I know now I'm not limited by my own beliefs no more. I know now that I'm worthy to be who I am and where I am in life. And I know that I can pour out as much as I have to pour out because I have no limit and I'm abundant. There is no limit to my gifts. So I'm just glad right now to be in a space where I can say like, my mindset about who I am and what I stand for is different. And another thing I was talking about earlier that it came back to me about the potential. Now, like I said before, we date people about potential, right? We date by potential, but we get into relationships and we get married based upon the value. Now, when you hold yourself in the values, what I'm talking about, I'm not talking about the money, because right now we're in this era where we talk about a man of high value is somebody that makes this money. But me, if you ask me my definition of a high value man, it's a man of one with very high moral conviction. A man of high value to me is a man that puts his family before his own needs. A man of high value is a man that looks beyond the faults of someone else and sees where they are and is willing to meet them where they are to help them. That's a man of high value. I can give a damn about the money in your account, because I've seen some money and I've also seen the lack of it. And in both of those places, the individual who I am has never changed. My outlook at women has never changed. I've always had a respect for women. And at the end of the day, a man of high value respects a woman. He respects himself first and foremost, and he respects the people around him. So I believe that truly I understand that in order for you to let things go, something must die, right? Something in you has to die. A decision The root word is decision. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, is the root of that word means to die. Something has to be dead in a decision. Don't quote me on that. I heard that somewhere. I'm not really sure who I heard it from, and I'm probably destroying the quote. But understand that when you make a decision, a part of you has to die, because a decision is literally cutting something off. A decision is stopping something. You know what I'm saying? So, what you got for that, chair?
Well, that's incision. Incision is when you cut inside of something, right? And so decision D is breaking, right? Scission would be. Let me see, because now you about to have me on some bullshit. Let me check.
Yeah.
Like Spencer's about to get. He said, because decision is when you remove something, you operate, and the D is when you break it. So Spencer's about to go for it, yo.
Yeah. Swiss is about to go. He about to go Google crazy over there in a hot second. He about to go crazy on Google. But in all seriousness, yo, like, we have to be okay with letting things go, because honestly, it goes back to the theory of holding something in your hand, right? Like, for instance, I could need $100 right now, right? And I could say, yo, Troy, I need $100. Yo, Swiss, I need $100. And y'all could be in a position to be like, yo, Roderick, here, take the money. But if I don't open my hand and let this pen go out of my hand to receive that $100, will I ever get it? Because you're prepared to give it to me, but I'm not prepared to receive it, because I haven't let go of some things that's holding me back. And this is what I want everybody to know that's listening to it. In order for us to get to where we gotta go, you gotta let some things go. And the way you let certain things go is by dealing with the past hurt and the past traumas. Now, sometimes you might not even know what those are, and it's okay. But it's not okay not to want to investigate, to find out. See, what happened to you before you got here is not your fault. But what happens to you from this point forward of you understanding and having awareness is definitely on you. You got to take ownership of what you got, man. Change that mind.
Doc, I don't even got nothing else to say. I'm gonna just let you feed me. I'm gonna let you feed me the rest of the night, because right now you talking good, Bishop. You talking good. So I'm gonna just stand back and be your armor bearer. I'm gonna let you have this. Listen, you hitting it right. Like you got something has to die.
Right.
An old relationship, an old habit, overeating, spending money, shopping, an ex-boyfriend, an ex-girlfriend, an ex-husband, an ex-wife, a relationship, right? Whether it's with a brother, a sister, a niece, a nephew, a friendship, something has to die in order for you to move forward. You have to bury it. You got to kill it. And then you've got to mourn it. Here's the other thing that people don't realize. When you let something go, when you kill it, when you destroy it, you've got to mourn it. There has to be a period in which you give yourself to say, I killed this thing, and now I have to be okay with the fact that I killed it. I put this thing to sleep. I have to be okay with the fact that I euthanized this habit. Right? And people aren't. That's how we end up picking it back up. So
now, I'm so glad that you chimed in with that, Troy, because that mourning is that part of that grace that KB speaks about. See, what we don't realize, like, as sad as it might be, but mourning is one of the best parts of the process, because when you mourn, you release, right? When you release that energy, it's something that happens, right? It's something even biological that happens with the endorphins in our bodies and our brains, that when we begin to cry and release certain things become lighter on our spirits. So when it comes down to letting certain things go inside of our spirit, especially when it comes down to like Troy said, past relationships, even situations within your family dynamics, right? Situations between your mother, your brother, your sister, your aunts, your uncles, whatever those may be. A lot of times, us holding on to those things are literally what's the brick walls in front of us between our next level of greatness. See, what I realize is that if we don't let things go, we can't go forward either, right? Because what we think is one thing to have somebody holding us back, right? Is one thing to you to try to be in stride to go forward, and someone is holding you, right? Restricting you because you're giving your energy to go forward, and there's something or someone restricting you. And when you know it, you can fight that. But it's something different when you don't know what is holding you back. And you end up lashing out and doing all kinds of things because you don't know what those things are. And how do I know that? Is because I experienced it. Like for a very long time, my wife would tell you, I would just lash out. I would just snap because I didn't know what was going on within me. It had nothing to do with her. So when I had to realize, like, yo, I had to step back from the situation and say, yo, babe, you know what? I need a little time. I need a little personal time for myself, because if I don't, I'm going to continuously do the thing that you don't like. I'm going to continuously put you in the positions or hurt you with ways of my behavior that I don't like and you don't like. So I had to literally let the mindset of who I was go. And like Troy said, I had to mourn that, because at the end of the day, it was a part of me. It was who I was. And not being able to mourn that, literally, like Troy said, will cause you to revert and quote unquote backslide into the situation that you just now got up out of. So for me, for instance, I had a very big problem with, not problem, but I had a very, very high sex drive. And not only was my sex drive high, I didn't know I had past traumas that caused me to try to use sex as a mechanism to cope. Right. And then here I am just thinking like, wow, I can't be satisfied. Ain't no woman got it for me. Here I am with this. Well, I'm out here in these streets and can't no woman help me because I'm all the way out here. But the truth of the matter is, it had nothing to do with the woman. It had something to do with me addressing those previous issues that I had not confronted. And I also did not know I had issues to confront. So it's vitally important, like Troy said, to not only let things go, let that person, that part of you die and bury it, but also give yourself some grace and some space to mourn that part of you. Because anything that dies, it needs time to mourn, right? Like even down to people, right? When someone passes away, it's expected for us to mourn. So if a part of you has died, it's okay to take some moments to say, you know what, that was a part of who I used to be. I'm no longer that person. I respect the fact that I used to be him and he's no longer with us. And that's the part of the process of moving forward, man. So yo, I'm not gonna keep sit here and preaching on, because we got the last few minutes coming down to the podcast. But I want to know what your last words for the people, man, before we get up out of here.
I mean, listen, man. To me, it's powerful, and it. You know, again, I tell you, the work that I've done through therapy, it's a healing process. And I think if we do not give ourselves an opportunity to heal, either from trauma that someone inflicted upon us, or, and listen, people, through trauma that you inflicted upon yourself.
Facts.
Right? A lot of people think trauma is just something that somebody inflicted upon us. But there are a lot of things that we do intentionally that creates this trauma in our life that we've inflicted upon ourselves. So if you don't give yourself a chance to heal from it, to learn from it and grow from it, you can't let it go. You're going to always be in that same space. Talk about, yeah, this time next year, I ain't going to be doing that. Nah, this time next year, you're going to be doing the same shit.
The same exact shit and 10 times harder. Because what we don't realize, Troy, I'm glad you said that, is that what we don't correct, we will perfect. You hear what I'm saying? What we don't correct, we will perfect. So if, for instance, in basketball terms, right? If you continuously shoot a jump shot wrong and it become your mechanism of shooting that basketball, guarantee you'll become perfect in shooting the wrong way. See, a lot of us have perfected doing the right things the wrong way. And And Swish, you spoke to that a few weeks ago, if not last week, about how you it was like 2 weeks ago when you spoke about how you realized you was doing the right thing, but doing the right things the wrong way. And it kept giving you the result that you didn't want. And a lot of people are really constantly doing that. We feel like we're doing the right thing, but we're doing the right thing the wrong way, and we're not getting the results we want. So it's important that we actually not only look at our lives, take some inventory and make some changes, but also check the direction in which we're going in, because we could be going in the right direction, but going the wrong way. You dig what I'm saying? So with that being said, Switch, we got for the people before we get up out of here, man. This dude is frozen again, looking like a model. Swift, we gotta cut this out. We gotta cut this out. I feel uncomfortable with you staring at me with your lips like that, so I'm gonna throw you in the back. That's kind of strange. Making me feel kind of strange with your lips puckered up at me and you're frozen. So we're gonna throw you in the back. And with that being said, I guess he has no closing words because he's frozen. And we're about to get up out of here. So TR, you got any more words before we get up out of here, man?
Listen, man, I love the conversation. I think it's, let's continue to be thought-provoking. Let's continue to, drive the message for, not just our Black fathers, but for the women and the men who support them too, right? Want to make sure that I'm all inclusive of our LGBTQ WXYZ community. Yeah, that's it, man. Change is important.
That's a whole fact. I just got a word from KB. He just texted me talking about how was the podcast. KB, we're still doing it. We're about to get up out of here. So when you see this replay, just know you text me at the last few minutes of it. But with that being said, guys, listen, man, I want you to understand that whatever you want in life, you're going to have to sacrifice something to get. I don't care what it is. If it's worth you having, it's worth you sacrificing for. Nothing in life is going to be given to you without the sacrifice. Understand that your sacrifice is only a small price to pay for the big gift that you want in the long run. And you guys know my energy, you know the vibes. But I'm going to tell you anyway. Guys, to the world, you are just a dad. But to your family, you are the world. Don't you ever forget that. And you guys know the rest of it. But I'm going to tell you anyway. Until the next time we see you, be good to yourself and the ones around you. But if you can't be good to the ones around you, it's okay. Just get those folk from around you.
Get them from around
you. The Imperfect Gentleman. And this has been the Imperfect Fathers Podcast. Y'all be blessed.
Peace. Be blessed.
Peace, y'all.